I guess it's time for a menage a trois of CSS. Alright, so in this video what we're going to be doing here, let me move this over because we don't need as much space really, is that I'm going to show you the 3 ways of using CSS in your page. So the first one is, and I think what you're going to see most common everywhere, I assume, unless you're working on legacy code, and that is bringing in an external style sheet. So in the last video we saw styles.css. How do we bring this in? How do we tell this file here, hey, follow the rules and the instructions over here? I'm going to come in and we're going to do it inside. You know, a lot goes on in the body, but there's a lot of really cool stuff that happens up in the head as well. So we're going to do link, and we're going to use the power of Emmet to throw this on out here. And so we have this saying it's a style sheet. Then we have this, and it says style.css. If we notice, we have styles over here. So we're going to have to come in and change it to styles. If this was main, we'd have to come in and change it to main. Also, if this file, say it's not indexed, say we were in beer.html, we would have to do the / that whole jazz and come back to point to this actual file right here. So just because you're doing stuff with CSS and bringing that file, it's just like linking to another page. So now we have styles. We have this right here. We brought it in. Let's save and let's see if it works. In Whammo, we have this H1 right here. The font family is noticeably different than it was before. And then we also have, well, the color red, as you can see. Let's come on in, right click, open the inspector. Come on now. Here we go. And let's click select an element. And we could see that it has the red and then the font family. Let me bring it out here so it's a bit more readable. We can see that it's red. And yes, you could actually really fine tune what color red or any color you want to with CSS. Think of it as like the very, very manual Adobe Photoshop or any other kind of paint tool you have. You can be very specific. And we could see that the font family, Arial Helvetica and sans serif, appeared there as well. Though it doesn't say font family, that's what's implied on that font line. So in this section, we're going to be covering is, you know how to bring it in externally, but what if you're just noodling around? What if you don't care? What if you want to try something quick and dirty? Because to be dead honest, it's fine to just noodle around and not make the next, big idea. And sometimes you just want to have one file and you want to style something out really quick without managing a fleet of other things. So we're going to come down here, we're going to do style. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. Let's refresh this. Actually, we got to save this over here first. And it goes back to normal. So we have these style tags. We're still in the head. We're going to come down here. We're going to paste this. It moves it on over for us. Upon the save, let's refresh it. And you see, same things applied. That is over here on the right-hand side. This is the second way. You will see an external style sheet 9 times out of 10. The other time you will see, maybe sometimes, is something locally here. Maybe for a proof of concept, maybe, I don't know, just some kind of doodling on someone's page. But this is another way that you could inject CSS into the web page. All right, and let's do the last very much, I think, I want to think of this as like a hack. Not really like a real hack, but say you need to know how something looks on the fly immediately. And I mean that by you can inject a style, let me go out of the P tag here, straight into an element. So if we come down here and do style, we could do, and let's take this out actually. We'll save this. And let's just do the color. And we can see it's red, but the font has changed back. Let's go in here and click, inspect. And we can see that it's Times New Roman, but is that red color that we are familiar with, that we've been seeing. Now, as a bonus, let's actually do something interesting here. Let's do style, bring this in. Let's do blue. And let's do green. Save it there, save it there. And what color do you think this is going to be? Let's change this to violet. So we have the external style sheet that we need to bring in. Make sure I bring it on in here. So we have the external style sheet we're bringing in. We have the style tag right here. And we have this right here. Now, what color do you think this H1 element is going to be? Is it going to be the external one, what we're doing in our file, or what's being directly injected into the element? Well, let's find out. And we see that it's this violet color because cascading takes into consideration how specific and how close to the element are you. The external, actually this is green, but that still wouldn't have mattered. This is far away. This is kind of like the master file, and it's the most objective. Once you come into the file itself, this is a more specific point of view from your web page as far as it's concerned. So this is more specific than an external file. Coming down into here, this is incredibly specific. This is singling out one element and saying you will have these properties. But yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Those are the 3 ways you could bring in CSS to your project. And in the next video, I think we're going to look at some selectors to show you the different ways you could pick up stuff on your page and manipulate them.